to start off 3 related questions. And so these are, if you want to answer these, just in sequential order. First, what what drew you to teach at Westminster, especially having been a pastor for 25 or so years before that? What's the education like at Westminster, and particularly so in the PT department? And why should a prospective student look at Westminster for their ministerial or biblical education?
Well, what drew me initially to Westminster were persistent friends.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't let me rest until I applied. But I knew about the school because I was out here in 2002 for the Dundalk lectures, actually. And that's how I got
Okay.
acquainted with the campus and met faculty who are still here. So I've, watched it from a distance for some time, but I've worked with Dr. Estelle,
Hmm.
Dr. Van Dreen and I have been on the same denominational committee for the last 17 years together. We came on to John Fesco, who used to be was a good friend. I officiated his wedding. He married one of my church members. I actually
Oh,
introduced them together.
really?
Yeah, so that's a long story.
Okay.
So I have these little connections, but what drew me in many ways was I believed in this school because it was confessional. It was unapologetically saying we hold to this confessional tradition that the reformers fought for, and we want to line up with them. And I love that. I think that, and Machen, that was his vision
Yep.
in terms of the OPC.
Yep.
And so I've always appreciated that. I was raised in a non-creedal church. I was raised in the Church of God. They did not believe in the creed. They would hold the Bible, say we have no creed but the Bible, and that's not really true.
That's agreed. Yeah.
It's a great idea, but
Yeah.
no, I was drawn for those reasons. I would say very attracted to the school for that, and I felt like I could trust the faculty.
Hmm.
I'd worked with 2 sessions, one in Philadelphia and one in Wheaton. Where I trusted my brothers. I enjoyed the privilege of working with men that I absolutely trusted,
Hmm.
and I felt like that was those were most of my questions to these guys when I came and interviewed.
Hmm.
I
That's
knew
cool.
where they were theologically, and
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah.
that'd be the reason what drew me.
Okay.
What's education like? I would say a lot of people would say it's rigorous, um, but that's just one angle. I mean, I've met a couple people. Well, I'll try it this way. I've had 2 friends who went to med school and they said seminary was harder.
Mm-hmm.
It not taxing in terms of the same hours and things like that
Sure.
with limitations, but maybe it is the same. A lot of it's very difficult. But I would say at Westminster, what makes it unique is the face to face,
Mm-hmm.
the student faculty ratio. I mean, Peter, you know this. My door is always open,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
and so you can drop in. And the first question is always, do you have a few minutes, or is this a good time? And I like that. I didn't have that kind of accessibility to some of my professors. And when you signed, like David Wells had a chart on his door at Gordon Conwell, and they were 15-minute increments.
Hmm.
And only the most brazen student would dare to sign up for 2 back to back. It said something about your self, confidence. But anyway, so I would say that's a big part of it. And what I like about this is you get to know students. I'm writing recommendation letters for our graduates with a clear conscience.
Yep.
And but I would say that's a big plus why you would come to a school like this, is that you're going to get to know your professors.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And I would say it's well-rounded. I mean, you're going to get really first class church history. You're going to get strong exegesis, good theology. And of course, the preeminent department, the practical theology department.
That's right. All the other departments serve the PT department.
Exactly right. I've never heard it put so well.
That's right.
But and we get along. I mean, Michael Horton said in the panel last year, he was asked about the faculty. He said, "You know what? We really like hanging out together. We genuinely like each other."
Mm-hmm.
And we used to have a saying on football, and a guy told me this since I was a receiver. He said, "If you're a friend with the quarterback off the field, you're his friend on the field."
Mm.
And because we had struck up a friendship, Tim Metchke, who is our quarterback. And I think the same is true here, that if we're friends off the field, if outside the classroom, we can enjoy each other. Yeah. Then we do well. So because I work with Jason Berry, we team teach this
Mhm.
coming semester 3 classes
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
And
Yep.
one of them we will not eventually, but students really enjoy that. We
Mhm.
have some give and take and fooling around, OPC versus PCA, things like that. But they really see how much we love each other and we work well together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great thing, the cohesiveness and the unity of our faculty.
Totally.
Yeah, that's got to help a lot. Being friends with people that you work with.
Yeah.
Well, it's tremendous, and students can see it. You can't hide it. But I've had friends that work on faculties where they can't get along, or they don't trust the administration, or
Yep.
they have somebody down the hall who's teaching exactly opposite of what they want, and it doesn't work.
Mhm.
And we talk. We have really wonderful discussions in our faculty meetings about things, just to learn where we're coming from. So especially with new faculty coming, I think it's important.
Yep. Yeah. 2 new guys this year. Yep.
Very exciting. And I've taken both of them to TJ's to try the Atabata.
Which is where you have to if you're in Escondido. TJ's, for those who are listening, TJ's is a hallowed establishment.
It's
at
not Trader
Westminster.
Joe's.
No, TJ's Tacos.
I know.
There is a Trader Joe's, but it's 4 miles away from campus, which in
Right.
Escondido driving is about 30 minutes. But you go to TJ's Tacos, we'll show you a good time.
Yeah,
Cool.
Come and I'll take you myself.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Happy
There
to
you go.
serve in this way.
And I'm sure a lot of people probably assume maybe that all Christian seminary schools, all the faculty would just automatically get along because they're Christian. But I guess
Yeah.
you can't take that for granted that,
No.
that's probably not the case. But at Westminster Seminary, California, it seems like all you guys really have a good cohesiveness and get along well, like you were saying.
And what helps is being confessionally committed. We know where the lines are, the boundaries are, but there's tremendous freedom
Mhm.
of how we express things within that. But my wife and I met at Gordon Conwell, and that school represented the bandwidth of evangelicalism, which was pretty
cafeteria
wide.
approach. Yeah.
Yeah, because you had a lot of Presbyterians, PCUSA, mainline students, but the second largest group were Assemblies of God.
Huh.
And so it was pretty wide
Yeah.
on everything.